Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. I hope you come back for more. And if you are already one of our kindred crafty community, then welcome back. I'm glad you're here with me today. Today's going to be another day in the Daphne's Diary Gluebook journal. Now it's been a couple weeks. I had good intentions to get a video out last week, and then just as life does happen, it just never happened. So today's going to be another page. So I'm just flipping through the first volume, the first one that we did, which we started. I looked back and we started this one in June of 2023. So it'll be 2 years this June that we've been on this Daphne's Diary journey together. If you are new, all the tutorials are in the Daphne's Diary Gluebook Journal playlist on my channel. So all of these are there for you to craft along. And I'm going to put this one aside. This is a hefty one. This one was got a little bit out of control. So the second one that we put together has the same amount of signatures, just not as many pages, and I'm really liking this better. And I think for volume 3 I will be doing it the same way. It's actually the same size as the other one, but it's just less pages. And in this one here, we've done quite a few of those double spreads, and I'm really loving the double spreads. I love this one too. That's the hot air balloon one that we did. That's the one little pop-up. I do like the interactive pages. So there's one of those double spreads. And then, it's just coming off there. There's another one of the double ones. I love that one. And this one here probably is one of my favorites of all the pages that we've done. And then there's another one of those double ones. And we've done some tags, and then the last page is here, our double one. Now I'm going to be doing a page opposite this, and the volume that I'm using is I'm going back to number 1 of this year, and on the back page there was this timepiece, I can find it here, that I actually cut out. But then I decided that, that's not this one here, that I wasn't going to use it, but maybe I did use it. Oh, here it is. It was this, on the very back page was this butterfly. So I cut it out and I did scan it because I actually wanted 2 of them. But then every time I printed it out, I was getting the wrong sizes. So in the end, I decided not to use the actual one. And I'm going to use the scanned one. Now you do need to, Daphne's Diary does not allow you to scan the images for you to sell in your journals, etc. There is a copyright on these as a one-use only for Daphne's Diary, but I'm not selling this. I'm strictly using it for my own personal, so just keep that in mind. But I did go back to my paper pad. This is the paper pad that I use. This is just a Michael's one that's out now, and I got one free or something. And it's the paper that I used last time on the little sleepy girl. So I just kind of thought I would kind of carry over the background theme onto today's page. So we're just going to set that aside for now. And then I went to just again, Michael's paper, foil paper, just to get a piece that I could frame this with. And I'm not sure about the lighting today. It's really weird lighting outside. It's only, it's still early. Well, early, it's not that early. It's about, I think it's about 8:30 maybe. It's Saturday morning. This is going to come out on Friday. And I got up, I went over to Sobeys. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I went over to Sobeys to get my fruit for the week. I'm still doing the Whole30. And I did have a bit of a blip yesterday. I went over to Tim Hortons on my lunch break. And and thanks, Mel. I used your gift card. Thank you so much. But I got my espresso, which I really love. But I got a blueberry fritter. Oh my, that's bad. So my stomach paid for it the rest of the day because I just felt blah. Okay, so, but yeah, and I'm down about, I guess I'm holding at 11, 12 pounds down, and it's been a couple months, so I'm happy with that. Of course, I wanted a little bit more, but okay, so that's going to go right about there. I'm not going to put that down yet. The other thing that last time I used one of the 6x6, one of these in the paper pad. There are some 6x6s, and I am going to do, I've decided, I don't know when, but I'm actually going to do a 6x6 journal so that I can use a bunch of these. But last time I just cut the corners off of here, and that's what I used on my top and bottom corner. I did look through the issue, this one here, but I didn't really find, and I could have went to other issues, but that 6x6 was actually sitting on my desk, and I thought, oh, I like that. So that's what I kind of used for there. So for this one, I had a couple other of those 6x6s, and I kind of considered to follow through with the flower theme, which I think I was really torn between having the flowers, but I just kind of felt it didn't really go with those colors. Anyways, what I decided to do is I took this one, and then around the edges, I just cut out that little scallop. And I thought that would work well at the top and the bottom. It would just kind of frame it. And then with a little bit of the spare from this gold foil, I cut a few little strips that I'm going to put at top and bottom as well. So I'm just going to get those on. I'm just going to grab my Elmer's glue. When I got up this morning, it felt colder in the house. So I looked at the temp, and it was -3 when I was in the car. The temperature said -3. And it wasn't cold, but it was, my hands were cold. Although in saying that, my hands are often cold. Okay, so I want that to be, sorry if my head gets in the way, I want it to be just enough that I can, and I'm looking on the edges here to make sure, like when I cut it off, that it's going to look quite even. And that looks pretty even there. I can't quite see this. Sun seems to be shining in my eyes. The sun's not out, it's behind the clouds, but it hasn't quite moved away from the craft room window yet. Chester, he's loving this time of year because we've had some okayish weather. The other day in the front yard where he sits on his perch in the window, it was about, is that going all the way over? No, it was about 7 degrees. So I opened the window for him just to get some air. Oh my gosh, that fits almost exactly. Okay, so we got that down. And then I'm just going to just cut this off. Like so. And because I think that, yeah, so I think that looks nice like that. And then I'm just going to do the same just to frame the page at the top as well. And then I went through my hardware. I have one of those little dollar store organizers with all the little cubby hole things that you can put your bits and bobs in. And I have a couple of those. One is for like paper clips. One is for like brads. And I have one that's just kind of general hardware. Because a long time ago, and I'm talking not that long ago, but maybe, I don't know, 4 years ago or something. Michael's used to have quite a bit of Tim Holtz stuff, you know, hardware and stuff like that. And I always made it my, I don't know, New Year's resolution to not go to Michael's in February and January and February. It was just a thing because Christmas and, you know, trying to get your credit card paid off and stuff like that, that I just said, no, I don't need anything. I'm not going. Anyways, this one year I decided that I was going to pop in. Well, big mistake in one way, but they had everything, all the Tim Holtz hardware. So we're talking cogs and latches and all kinds of stuff that they had was on sale for like $5 a pack or something. So, of course, you know, I had to stock up on that stuff. And one of the things that I bought during that time were these clock hands. So I decided that what I was going to do, and I need my little pokey tool, is I was going to put a real clock hand. I couldn't decide which one though. I think it has to be, well, it could be this one. Because I'm going to then put a butterfly on top of that to make it look, yeah, I think it's going to be this one, to make the butterfly look three-dimensional. So I'm going to put that through there. And if you don't have a hand, that's fine. You could always modify something. You could cut something out of a piece of card, like gold cardstock, or if you had a die cut, you could die cut a piece of gold. So there we have this little second hand. And then I've put a little bit of double-sided tape on here. I used a star. Now these stars I got at, that's not it. I don't know where my brads are. I got those at Michael's. And I had a 40% off coupon, and they're only like $5.99. And I was buying something else, and I just thought, oh, just grab a pack of those. And they're great because if you want to use that brad to, I don't know, make a brad out of something else, they're flat on top. So they have a nice little surface that you can attach it to something else. Whereas a lot of the other brads have sort of that half back pearl type thing. Okay, so then I think that's good. So I'm just going to try, I just need to pull this a little bit towards me for a second so I can get this lined up. Such. Like so. Okay, so then that kind of gives this little butterfly that sort of 3D effect when you're looking through. It's kind of hard to pick it up on camera, but you can see my hand gets that out of the way. It's just kind of like a 3D thing. But then I wasn't happy with this with this hand because it was a little bit faded. And I thought about just gluing this right on top of it, but I liked the movement of this hand. So what I decided to do is I just went to my gel pens and I just decided that I will I will just make this a little bit more visible. And it's not really the same color as of this bronze one, but I couldn't find a color that matched it better than this one. So I thought, well, this will catch the light because it's metallic. I mean, you can make it gold. If you decide to cut out a hand out of just some gold paper, then you could just get a gold gel pen and do this in gold. So there, so I do like that. I don't know if you can, but when the light shines on it, it picks it up. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so then what I thought is I went back. Let's get this. We can put this on now. The only reason I didn't was because I wanted to put that brad through there. So I'm just going to use just some of this Elmer's glue. Now this is the glue all. I know I say that all the time, but it has less water than the school glue. So I just find it has a better grip and it isn't as kind of slimy as the school glue. Okay, so I try to get this relatively centered, like so. I think that looks good. Okay, and then I thought about, you know, we could embellish the numbers. So these numbers here, so I have itchy elbow. We could take our black gel pen and make those stand out, but I'd rather have the butterfly stand out more. So I've just got some of my, I'm just going to test them out here. Some of these gel pens that I can just do a little bit of highlighting of this butterfly to make it kind of stand out from the background a bit, like so. You can just play with it and have fun. I find this very meditative. Now for my saying, that's funny because I was rooting around for a saying. Like I always, for my Daphne's diary, I do like to have a saying. I like how, I don't think you can pick that up on camera, but I do like that. And then I don't really have a ready color for that. All the ones that I have are kind of, oh, this one might work. Oh yeah, that works. Now these ones here, I got in the UK at Paper Chase the last time I was there, which was quite a few years ago. And they were in my stash. And I forgot all about them. Wow, this color is almost exactly what I needed for this butterfly. And they're glitter pens too. They're not just gel pens. I can see there's a glitter to it. Oh wow, that's cool. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick that up on camera, but there's a bit of a glitter there. So that's cool. But the saying, I was looking around at my Tim Holtz sayings and stuff, and I could itch my elbow. What does that mean when your elbow's itchy? And then I was looking through a number, and I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden, this just popped on my desk, and I thought, oh, what's this one? And it says, each day brings new opportunities to find magic in my life. And this saying, if you remember, I believe was one of the affirmations from Junk Journal July last year. And I thought, well, the universe has sent me a message, so I am going to listen. And even though I've used this before, not in this journal, I'm going to use it again just to remind me that every day there's a new opportunity. This magic is all around us. I think magic is those moments of serendipity, or, you know, meeting a kindred spirit. Like many of you and I have developed a kindred friendship. And I think those are magical moments in life. So let's just reflect on the little things that, even though we've had hardships and we maybe all be going through things health-wise or loss, you know, there still have been magical moments in our lives. Okay, and then probably one of the last things is I pulled out some of these because if we go back to our journal, I think that fits really well in there. I think that looks lovely, and I'll get that tacked down. But we do have some rivets there, and I thought, well, let's do some rivets on this one too. And I'm thinking 3 and 3, or we could have done, so here we've done 3 and 3 and 3 and 3, like on the edges. And we could do that, although would that be, yeah, I think that would look fine. So what I'm going to do, so these are from the dollar store, and I've already cut a bunch of them up, but I haven't cut these ones. Okay. So I'm just going to cut, I'm going to need 2, I'm going to need 6, no, I'm going to need 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, and then I always need to use my tweezers. For these ones here, I use my tweezers that don't come to a sharp point, just because, actually I could probably use my hands with these ones, but I find it hard to get my thumbs working sometimes. All right, and I think I'll have them, do I want them right to the corner? No, I'm going to have it right to there, just right on the edge there. And then the same with this one here, we'll just put it to the edge there. So after I do this, I'm going to do my Marguerite Miller for tomorrow. So today is March the, gosh, I'm not even sure, March 27th. I've been sorry I haven't got to your comments this week. Work's been busy, and then in the evenings this week, I've really been trying to declutter stuff. So I've been going through things and throwing things out, and by the time I spend an hour or so doing that after I get finished work and supper, then I'm just done for the day. But I'm hoping to get at some comments tonight and read my emails and stuff. So I love that you just bear with me. I really appreciate that. All right, and then, so once we have these down, I think these little accents just kind of make your page. And if there's things that you really love to use, certain gems, or you know me and those butterflies, those bronze butterflies, I could put those on everything. And I happen to get 2 more packs. Stampin' Up! Is still selling them, so I ordered some the other day, because when they're gone, I'll be sad, because I just love them. But I love these little rivets too. And the thing with these rivets, or with any gems that you have, well, not any, but if you want to color coordinate it with your page, just take a marker of a similar color and just color them. But don't color them on your page, of course. Color them on here and let them dry. And then I just use my alcohol markers. Okay, so I need a center in my butterfly. And because on this page I used a little pearl there, which the light's coming in the windows, making it hard to see, I think. I thought I would go back to these little pearls, because I didn't want it too big. I'm thinking I'll use this medium size here. Oh, and you can see here, I've taken these white pearls and I've colored them red. I must have been doing like something at Christmas time or something. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so then we have our little center of our butterfly right there. And I think that's all that I set aside in my little, oh right, the only other thing, of course, is just a little bit of Stella. And what I thought I would do is I would just, if you don't know what Wink of Stella is, it's an aqua glitter writer. And it looks like mine leaked. And, ooh, that's nice. So when it dries with the glitter. Wow, that is nice. So this is an idea. Instead of, you know, putting Nuvo drops or something here, just make it a little bit glittery. Be careful if you're going to, the way that this works is you squeeze this little barrel and it puts more juice into your into your brush tip there. The thing is, you don't want to squeeze it over your project. I've done that before, and it's left a great huge puddle. Okay, so we've got that, and I don't know if that picks it up in the light, but that is very glittery. That's nice. So when I turn my page, it's gonna, oh, and that picks up that, I'm gonna do this too. It picks up that, the red of those wings really well too. I'm gonna put some on the tips. You can never have too much glitter, I don't think. Can you? Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? I love the glitter. And I like the Wink of Stella because it is subtle when it's on there. Well, that's nice. Okay, well, that's it for this week. I am going to go ahead and get that in there, but this is how it's going to look, if you can make that out. And thank you for stopping by. If you like this, I'd love to get a like or subscribe if you haven't. But until we meet again, I do hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.